Hi, welcome to this video. On September 10th at 2:59 a.m. Pacific time, there is a full moon in Pisces happening, and it will be conjunct Neptune, which is retrograde, at 24 degrees 12 minutes of Pisces. The full moon is at 17 degrees 41 minutes of Pisces, opposite the sun in Virgo in those same degrees. And the full moon is also sextiling Uranus, and Uranus is at 18 degrees 48 minutes of Taurus, and it is also retrograde. So this is a moment where we can experience more psychic phenomenon, and our imaginations and our intuitions are so rich and full of vibrancy at this time. So this is a great time for really tuning into those insights and maybe taking note of those insights. This could also be a good time for stepping away from consuming too much information, because our unconscious mind might need some time to process more because of the, so much information is coming from within. So the external information is kind of like putting our unconscious minds into like overdrive. So it's a good idea to kind of step away, do some meditation, and really go within yourself a little more on this day. And then we also have basically the square to Saturn is happening still with Uranus square Saturn, and the Neptune sextile Pluto is still happening because these are longer term influences. So with the Neptune sextile Pluto, the veil continues to be lifted upon our reality, and the truth of the reality continues to be revealed. And with the Saturn square Uranus, the shifts and changes in the structures of our world and society are very they're breaking down and making way for new structures to be created and new systems to be created, so that we can bring our world into more of an evolved state. And there's a lot that needs to be basically, shed away. The old skin needs to be shed, the rebirthing needs to take place, and maybe there's a core of values that need to be replenished or honored more and brought into awareness more, and maybe we've gotten away from some of those values, and so readjusting and focusing on what it is that our values are is what could help to focus the energy to where it should go, rather than getting sidetracked by all of the distractions in the world, which is been a problem. So then we've got Mercury Retrograde at 8 degrees 55 minutes of Libra, and it turns retrograde as of September 9th. And it is opposite Jupiter Retrograde at 5 degrees 49 minutes of Aries. So Mercury opposite Jupiter is helping us to open our minds to other people's perspectives and have conversations with people that you might not agree with. And with Jupiter and Aries, there is a potential for being too stubborn within your viewpoint. But because of Mercury in Libra opposing it, Mercury in Libra might help you look at things in a different way from another person's point of view. And so this can help to expand your vision or your belief system even of the world, your world view might shift as a result of that. And there is also a yod happening with Chiron in Aries, and it's at 15 degrees 19 minutes of Aries, and it's retrograde. Like almost everything's retrograde right now. Not everything, but almost everything's retrograde, it seems like. And it is sextiling Saturn by 5 degrees, so it's pretty far, but they are both in conjunct the Sun in Virgo at 17 degrees 41 minutes. So, and Saturn's at 20, yeah, did I say that's at like 20 degrees 1 minute of Aquarius? Well, I just did now. So with that sextile going on and that in conjunction to the Sun in Virgo, this is healing the tendencies to be hard on ourselves, because with Chiron and Aries, there's that wound of maybe not feeling quite like you're like you have the ego wounds of maybe not feeling good enough, or you can be kind of insecure in yourself or unsure of yourself at times with that energy. And the sextile to Saturn could represent maybe a parental figure, and you know, there's kind of two ways this could be interpreted. Either you had a lot of freedom and time to yourself as a child, or your parent was hard on you, and so you might be very hard on yourself. With that Sun and Virgo in conjunction, it could be bringing up the feelings of being too hard on ourselves. But it could also bring up the need for more discipline. So if you did have a lot of freedom growing up, discipline may be something that you struggle with, because you have to learn it ultimately. So yeah, and so anyways, that's what this yod is kind of bringing up for people right now, is like kind of like, you know, wounds around how we were raised and the desire to basically overcome those things, the need to kind of pinpoint how we can resolve those issues so that we can become, you know, better at being a person. All right. And then we've got Mercury also trining Mars at 11 degrees 24 minutes of Gemini. So with Mercury trining Mars in Gemini, I mean, conversations can be more lively, and maybe, you know, debates could be had, but they could be lighthearted because of the trining energy. But with the retrograde coming up, maybe you don't always get your point across exactly how you mean to, and there could be some things that you say wrong, or, you know, information, maybe like you're not getting all your facts in order beforehand, and so, you know, information could be missed and such. So something to be aware of in terms of that. And then with Venus at 6 degrees 30 minutes of Virgo, it is squaring Mars in Gemini, and it's also in conjunct Jupiter in Aries. So with Venus squaring Mars, this is really a conflict of information. With Venus and Virgo, it's like Virgo is very thorough in its processing of information and its studying of information. It is great at analyzing, and it's due diligence. Virgo is very good at due diligence. And with Mars and Gemini is kind of flitting about. You know, it's like, you know, looking at this, looking at that, reading this, reading that. Oh, look at this. Oh, crazy. You know, learning something new about that. And so there are two different types of information, two different types of processing information. And one is more in depth with the Virgo. And with the Gemini, it's more like broad and maybe not super deep, depending on obviously other factors and, you know, the type of people, of course. But yeah, so we've got that kind of thing going on, and with Venus and Mars, it could actually come up within our relationships, potentially even. So this sort of needing to reconcile the information that you are gathering together. So yeah, there's kind of a lot of that going on, apparently. So anyways, that's everything for this full moon in Pisces. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share. I appreciate it. Have an awesome time.